Going from road construction to building construction on Tuesday, leaders behind the new Hard Rock Casino in Rockford signed on to a partnership to promote safety and health.
23 News reporter Connor Hollingsworth gets a sneak peek into the construction and why they say safety must be a top priority.
The concrete foundations were built all winter long through the snow and ice. We only lost about 7 to 10 days of work.
Construction on the Hard Rock Casino is on a roll. With the foundations in place, it's time to work on the steel structure.
We want those workers to come home safely to their families every day.
More than 1,200 workers will construct this future Forest City hotspot. To ensure their safety, Brent Johnson with Ringland Johnson Construction entered a strategic partnership with OSHA's state and federal offices, as well as the Mid-America Carpenters Regional Council.
The main part of it is being on site and being that second set of eyes.
So the partnership that we signed into has multiple goals that we're tracking, different training opportunities, job site audits, safety committees, all with the intent of providing the safest workplace possible.
Construction workers face a plethora of hazards like falls, getting struck by debris or electrical incidents. But officials say by being proactive rather than reactive, they can make sure those risks are minimized.
Safety is not the absence of accidents. It's the capacity to fail safely. So building defenses into your program, assuming that something is going to happen.
Working for you in Rockford, Connor Hollingsworth, 23 News.
Johnson says each worker has an opportunity to promote their own safety. If they see something they feel like should be addressed, they can bring it up to a supervisor, and special education can be taught around that issue.